Please rise for the posting of the colors. Please remain standing for the national anthem sung by Perry Howe and the invocation given by Police Chaplain Georgia M. Walker.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us pray. Father, as we have come this evening to gather to pay tribute and well wishes to Chief Kemberly Braden, we ask, Father, that you will cover this event, and we pray, God, for everything that will be done here will be done decent and in order. We thank you for all of those that are assembled here, and we ask, oh God, that you will continue to bless us as we pay tribute to this man of God for the service he has rendered not only to the city of Fayetteville, but to all in the United States and those that know him. So, Lord God, we thank you for this privilege and opportunity of being able to come and ask your blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
America, Perry Howe, he's the man. Good evening. What an honor to stand before you today as we come together tonight to celebrate the remarkable career of someone who has not only been a leader, but also a true mentor and a friend. Today we bid farewell to a man whose influence stretches far beyond the halls of this department, a man who over the course of 3 decades has shaped our professional lives and personal growth. I've had the privilege to know Chief Braden for over 25 years. When I look back on those years, I realize just how much he has impacted me, both personally and professionally. To say that Chief Braden has been a mentor is an understatement. He has been a guiding force, always leading by example, always showing what it means to be a true leader, not just in title, but in heart. Personally, he is probably one of the funniest people I know. He has taught me to look out for boneless arms. Life is too short to not have a pot to piss in, and no one is bulletproof. You can ask him after about Anyway, his unwavering dedication, his professionalism, and his compassion have left an indelible mark on all of us who have lived, or who have had the honor of working beside him. But beyond that, Chief Braden's commitment to personal growth and his genuine care for his team, the community, and the department as a whole have shaped the very fabric of who we are as individuals. Chief, you have taught us more than just skills and strategies needed to be successful in our roles. You have shown us the value of integrity, the power of listening, and the importance of leading with empathy and respect. You've shared your wisdom, your time, and your strength with all of us, and for that, we are eternally grateful. But what makes Chief Braden truly exceptional is his leadership extended beyond the workplace. As a friend, you've been there in times of need, offering counsel, encouragement, and a sense of stability. Your mentorship, both on and off the clock, has meant more than words can ever express. Today, we celebrate not just your career, but your legacy you leave behind. Your influence will live on in the way that we lead, the way that we serve, and the way we support one another. You've created lasting impact, not just through your work, but through the people you've mentored, inspired, and befriended. Chief, I speak for everyone here when I say that we are better for having known you. You've shaped us into not just better professionals, but better people. As you begin the next chapter of your life, and you will, I know I speak for all of us when I say that your retirement is well earned, but it does not mean that your impact ends here. You will always be a part of this family, and we will continue to carry forward the lessons you've taught us. Thank you for everything, for your leadership, for your friendship, and for your incredible example you've set. Enjoy this new chapter, and know that you will always be a part of our journey. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round for Chief Braden, a mentor, a friend, and a true leader. At this time, I would like to recognize City Manager Douglas Hewitt for welcome and presentations.
I will cut my remarks short. Chief Burke did such a great job. Some of her remarks match my own, so I won't try not to repeat those. But I don't think enough can be said about the man that we're here tonight to recognize who is Chief Kemberly Braden. Quite often in your career, you run across people who, when you meet them, you don't know how big of a role they're going to play in your life. But over the last 2 years, I think he's the only person that's called me at 2 a.m. on multiple occasions. He's the only person that whenever I pick up the phone, it's sometimes it's good news, sometimes it's bad news, but it is always delivered with his own brand of honesty, integrity, and compassion. Many people in this room are police officers. Many of you have been in the military. Many of you have been through many challenging situations in your life. But I can tell you it means something to me as the manager whenever I have a police chief that picks up the phone with me and something is going wrong, and they rely on me to also help center them. Beth knows probably more so than anyone in the room what it means when the chief comes home and he is out of sorts. But if you've ever been on the receiving end of one of those calls where the chief is overwhelmed at the moment, I consider my privilege and my honor to be there with you in those times, because I know that when the tables are reversed, for everyone in this room, he's there as well. There are things that you can't unsee, you can't unhear. But I do want to echo what Chief Burke said. I want you to remember one thing, and I want you to hear one thing, is the appreciation and love that we have for you and the admiration that we have for you and all the service that you have given to us. So if we could give him another round of applause. And again, Kelly did such a great job. I would just kind of say blah, 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 blah. But back to some prepared remarks so that I don't lose my place as well. Again, thank you all for joining us here this evening to celebrate the remarkable career and retirement of Chief Kemberly Braden. When a person dedicates their entire law enforcement career to a single city, it speaks volumes about their commitment, loyalty, and belief in the community they serve. Chief Braden's story reflects an unwavering devotion to Fayetteville and to the men and women he has led and served alongside for nearly 3 decades. Many of you know Chief Braden began his journey in law enforcement in March of 1996. Joining the Fayetteville Police Department upon graduating from BLET, right from the start, he made it clear that he was here to protect and serve our city. In those early days, he worked tirelessly in patrol operations, later taking his skills and dedication to the Narcotics Vice Suppression Unit, Special Projects Unit, and the Neighborhood Improvement Team. His ambition to uphold public safety and commitment to our community's well-being quickly set him apart. But I feel, though, his many promotions and different positions within the police department, he found his stride in the emergency response team. Chief Braden served 22 years on the department's emergency response team, starting as a basic operator and eventually rising to team commander. It truly takes a special person to be part of a group of highly trained officers who respond to critical incidents or high-risk situations beyond the scope of routine police work. Just because Chief Braden's path included one of the most rigorous, physically demanding jobs on the force did not mean that he was lacking in other areas. His focus on continuous learning and professional development led him to earning his bachelor's degree in criminal justice. He graduated from the FBI National Academy, Session 272, and attended the Senior Management Institute for Police at Boston University in July of 2022, all while still serving the city. His thirst for knowledge, combined with his intrinsic motivation to lead by example, allowed him to guide the Fayetteville Police Department with integrity and vision. Yet beyond those titles and accolades, Kim Braden has also consistently personified what it means to be a public servant, placing the safety of our citizens above all else. His steadfast loyalty to the city of Fayetteville has made him not just our chief of police, but a trusted partner and a caring neighbor. He wears his badge with honor and has always stood as a pillar of strength in our community. Over the past decade, the city of Fayetteville has experienced a decline in overall crime. Insert applause here. Reaching its low in 10 years, and at the helm of success is Chief Kemberly Braden. His commitment to thinking policing, the streets, stronger community bonds. Hot spots, the department bolstered its capacity to respond quickly to potential threats, placing the safety of Fayetteville City at the forefront. Recognizing that violent crime posed one of the biggest risks to the public's safety, what you may not know is that Chief Braden led the way to establishing a gun and gang violence unit, building on the former gun and gang task force. He expanded its reach and developed partnerships with federal agencies, intensifying efforts to disrupt firearms, offenses, and gang activity. These initiatives greatly diminished the influence of repeat offenders and helped curb violent crime in our city. Yet among these tactical successes, Chief Braden never lost sight of what our community and around our nation, which is trust. Through neighborhood watch programs, community outreach, and town hall forums, he has fostered relationships that encourage residents to cooperate with law enforcement, a key factor in the successful investigations and crime prevention. Chief Braden demanded a high standard of professionalism within his department. He championed continuous training, both technical and leadership focused, to ensure officers were prepared for the challenges of modern policing. This professional development also aligned with his data-driven style of accountability. Collectively, these strategies created a foundation for lasting reduction in crime in Fayetteville that we enjoy today. Chief Braden's leadership ensured that each department and each component worked in tandem, resulting in meaningful, measurable progress that set new standards for public safety in our city. Amid all of these professional milestones, there's another vital aspect of Chief Braden. That's his family. He is married to his wife, Beth, and together they share 2 children, Christian and Patricia, as well as 2 grandchildren, Amelia and Cornelius. One has no doubt been his unwavering support system, standing by his side through the long hours and the late night calls and the demanding responsibilities of police work, especially the last 2 years, while he has been at the helm of the Fayetteville Police Department. So again, I'd like to say, Chief Braden, on behalf of the entire city of Fayetteville, we thank you. We thank you for each act of leadership, each sacrifice, and courage. Your work has not only combated crime, but has lifted up the men and women who stand behind the badge, inspiring them to serve our residents with compassion, professionalism, and excellence. As we celebrate your retirement, we acknowledge the extraordinary legacy you leave behind, one of perseverance, passion, and pride in our fair city. You may be stepping away from the uniform, but the impact you have made will be felt in our community for many years to come. Again, thank you for your commitment, and may you find time to rest, enjoy your family, pressure wash the house, and all of the other wonderful things that we hope that you'll enjoy your retirement. So again, congratulations and enjoy your retirement, and thank you for your incredible service.
When a police officer endures separations and periods of uncommon stress, a police officer cannot remain happy and cannot succeed during a career without the love and support of his spouse and family. As we honor the retiree today, we also honor his family. At this time, Beth and Lexi, please come forward. These certificates are presented to each of you on behalf of the city of Fayetteville, which states, "It is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation to you for enduring the frequent separations while Chief Braden served his city and the state. He was often required to do police work, prevented him from spending more time at home with his family. His successful career has been challenging and has required an unselfish devotion to service of others. He would have preferred to be home to help you when you needed him, but his outstanding work in support of our city has also been very important to your future. Your understanding has been essential to his success. The city of Fayetteville thanks you for your support. Presented this day, the 20th of March, 2025, signed by City Manager Douglas Hewitt." Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Lexi. You may now be seated. Chief Braden, I ask that you come forward, please. For your faithful and dedicated service, we have several items to present you at this time. Your certificate of retirement, from the city of Fayetteville to all who shall see these greetings, this is to certify that Chief Kemberly Braden, having been retired after honorable service from the Fayetteville Police Department in Fayetteville, North Carolina, acknowledgement of service faithfully performed from March 18th, 1996 to March 31st, 2025, signed by the city manager, Mr. Douglas Hewitt. Your retiree badge and credentials. We would like to present a representation of your service to the Fayetteville Police Department in the form of your shadow box. Thank you, Mr. Hewitt. Mr. Hewitt and With this next presentation. The Order of the Longleaf Pine Award. Skipping the part. Thank you all. You can have a seat. You guys are good.
I'll ask our vice chairwoman to come up, and I know the stairs may be a little difficult. We'll present it down. Chief, come on up. It's not a longleaf pine, or it's not a key to the city. But we thought it was important that we recognized you from the county perspective with a credit card. There you go. The work you've done across our community for years. Fayetteville is the largest municipality inside Cumberland County, and the impact you've made on our citizens jointly, Fayetteville and Cumberland County, have been immense. Many things that we probably will never know about, but know that as you retire and go on to your next journey, that your fingerprints are across this community. The impact that you've made on this community will be felt for years. So I want to provide you a certificate of appreciation from the Board of Commissioners. It also has two of our chairman's coins on it as well. To Chief Kemberly Braden, City of Fayetteville Police Department, in grateful recognition of your exemplary service to the residents of Cumberland County. Thank you for your selfless commitment to the City of Fayetteville and your unwavering dedication to the safety of our community. Thank you.
So first, I have some remarks from your community members. Farewell, you sure will leave some big shoes to fill, sincerely. I don't think they're gonna find anybody to fill those shoes. We are definitely happy to have met you through our journey of grief, and we cannot thank you enough for being transparent in our tragedies. It is a blessing to have met you, and an honor to have supported you and the staff. The team, I found the Live Like Genesis project, and my family are grateful to have called you a chief and now a friend. Happy retirement. So, from your community, we want to tell you, thank you for believing in our visions. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for the sacrifices that you've always made. And now you don't have no more 2 a.m. phone calls from me. We can pass the torch to Assistant Chief Joyce. So, we're greatly, greatly, greatly honored. What we wanted to present to you, and Micaiah helped me, we wanted you to always be able to look back and see the impact that you made in your community. So we don't got no money like him, so we couldn't put it in the salary. It says, may you be proud of the work you have done and the person you are and the difference you have made. And we were trying to calculate your years, and we was calling everybody to get them, so we gave you 2 extra years. And so, happy retirement.
afternoon, everybody. So I want to say about my uncle, he's dedicated, he's responsible, he's nice. Makes me happy. Give me $5.
Thank you, guys.
There's one person who couldn't be up here with us tonight, and that's Betty Kauser, and we'll explain a little bit as we go along. But I'll never forget, it was probably 2 weeks before you made your announcement that you were going to retire. We were walking over to City Hall, and we walked by the break room, and you're like, man, I really could use one of those in my garage. So next morning, I go and I start talking to Dale Autry, and we start having some conversations, and sometimes people can just make things happen. And I know you talk about Monster Energy drinks of the L-carotene and taurine, how it helps you remember everything. It's probably got gasoline, kerosene, everything else in it. But we know you truly love that. And I greatly appreciate everything that you have done for us. We never really got to work together up until the last 2 years. And I really appreciate that. And I think you and I have really got to know each other over the last couple months. And that means a lot to me, and some conversations we've actually had to have over the last couple of days. So I greatly appreciate that. But without further ado, if we could do an unveiling here.
Retirement was to promote positive change.
So, hey, Chief, so I want to say this, and everybody here, and Daniel Triciano's here, right? So, without talking to them, I had that same idea. And I contacted Daniel. I said, hey, you know, you're in the restaurant business, other people in the restaurant business, can you find out if we can get one of these? And they linked me up with is it Coca-Cola? Yeah. Coca-Cola rep, and they're like, yeah, we don't sell those. So I was at a dead end, and I was online. I was getting ready to order one, and they're like $695. And I'm saying, and I'm trying to figure to myself, are you really worth $695? So the day that I said, all right, I'm gonna make a commitment before the end of the evening to do it, and I was gonna do it, I see these jokers hauling this thing into a back room, and I said, what are you doing, and where did you get it? They said, oh, we had this idea to get this refrigerator, and we were gonna have it logoed, and I was like, did somebody tell you this idea? They're like, no, we thought about this 2 months ago. I hope to get it wrapped. It's brand new wrap, brand new logos. But yeah, so I'm still debating whether you're worth $695. I don't know.
So the quick story, I've got all kinds of stories about Chief Braden, but Kelly Berg asked us to keep it to 2 minutes. So I'm not going to say much, which is hard for me, and everybody in the room knows what that means. The one story about Monster drinks during the hurricane. Monster drinks had just started coming out. This is what the hurricane in 99, tornadoes, 2000. And we were sergeants together, and we were on the night shift. And he said, man, I got a case of Monster drinks. And so we're dropping them off. They were just dropping them off because we were securing everyone out and over off of Yadkin Road. And so we're riding around in one of the gators that we had, and we're drinking Monster drinks, and I was talking a lot. More than normal for me. And I think you looked over at Lieutenant Thompson and said, if you give him another Monster drink, I'm going to punch you in the mouth.
I'm going to keep it clean, okay? Stop looking at me like that. I promise. So I'm going to keep this real short. 2 minutes. Start your watch. So my first interaction with Chief Braden at the time was when he was a police officer. I had just gotten released from the academy. They wanted us to do a ride-along. And I report to the squad to do a ride-along, and I report to his squad, and they stick me with him. And I got my first cocaine arrest the first night with him. Eagle Motor Inn over off Gillespie. I say all that to say, as the years went by, I began to truly value his knowledge of criminal law, and especially Fourth Amendment. And as a watch commander, he was a sergeant on the opposing district. I would often call him and say, hey, let me bounce something off you. That's how much I valued his opinion. It didn't matter that I was a lieutenant and he was a sergeant. I don't care if he was an officer, I just still made the call. So fast forward to you making chief. We've had a lot of talks in the garage, and I asked you what your vision was, what direction you wanted this agency to go. And I want everybody in the room to know it was one of accountability. He truly wanted to be, his legacy was accountability. And I asked him, give me a goal, give me a point to reach. And you did. And, I appreciate you personally because I know that you saw something in me that may have been lost. And even though you never said thank you or great job, I would like to think in that Monster energy drink encrusted heart that somewhere down inside there's a little spark that says, way to go. Chief, thank you for putting our ship in the right direction. And no matter who fills your shoes, and nobody will, I give you my vow, because I know this is important. You're trying to set us up for success, that when you leave, I will give whoever is in that office everything I gave you. So thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for direction. And thank you for where you've got us today.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. First, I want to thank all of the folks that helped me today, actually the last several weeks putting this thing together. As you know, the last chief was Chief Hawkins, and she was a little bougie, and I loved her, but she was bougie. But Chief Braden became Chief Hawkins during this time period because he kept adding things to do to make sure that the community knew that they were appreciated. So I want to say thank you to Sabina for making 450 certificates of appreciation. Thank you, Chief. Yeah. I'm just playing. He's not as bougie. He's one of the most relaxed people that I know. And if you don't know me or know who I am, I'm Chief Braden's assistant. I've seen this man really talk about accountability. None that I've ever seen before. And I love the fact that he was my chief for 2 years, and I really appreciate working with you and alongside you. Every day I got to see that side that a lot of people don't see. Criminal activity in Fayetteville is rampant. This man right here, he just wants it to be safe. I mean, he's just downright the most unbelievably strategic person that I know. And he's good at numbers, because I hope this is not over the top. But he loves numbers, and he liked to give us counseling sessions on our accounting methods at the police department. But anyway, I just want to say, Chief, thank you, and I appreciate you. And Beth, thanks for putting up with him, and I appreciate you. Okay.
Well, I do more than sing the national anthem, I can promise you that. I'm going on 30 years with law enforcement, and I've known him his entire career. And I don't know if I ever pissed any of your prisoners off, but I was well known for that. But one thing I do remember was the night standing in the magistrate's office when you were shot. And I've never felt fear and scared like I did except when Roy Turner was killed. Because I had just spoke with Roy. He was using my telephone before he was shot. And when I heard that call come out, we were standing in the magistrate's office, and the magistrate told him, shut up, sit him down, talking about the prisoner. They did. We kept trying to find out who it was, nobody would say. So me, you know, I know everybody. So I made a phone call. And they were like, it's Braden. I'm like, oh my God. So, I mean, you know, it's amazing to know that you're a chief, that when you walk down the hall, you speak to us. You treat us like we're people, not like we're your subordinates. And we respect you for that. Just like the other night, you told me if I ever wanted to fight you, it was the time to do it when you had your red high heels on. But then he did say, I will take these heels off. Enough said. Look, I really appreciate everything you do. I appreciate you being our chief. Most of all, I appreciate you being my friend and letting me be the crazy person that I am and putting up with it. But I thank you, and we love you, man.
So I met Chief Braden in September of 2002. I'd come here from another agency. I was waiting my purgatory time, waiting to get my certification back from the state. And I was in a locker room at the training center, and I walked into the locker room, and there he is. He's trying to put his boots on. And he was struggling. He'd just come off his getting shot, and he was coming back to work, and he was having a hard time. And I remember watching him do that, and then somebody told me that what he was going through. And then later, he told me what he was going through at that point in his life. And there's something that comes to mind when I think of Chief Braden, is perseverance. Perseverance. He perseveres through struggle. And then sometimes when there ain't no struggle, he'll create some. But there's something that I want to read you. I consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever I face trials of many kinds, because you know that testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. When I think of you, that's what I think of. And I think of all the circumstances that you and I have been under through the years together, and I am grateful and I'm thankful for the man you are, teammate, brother, and I love you with all my heart, son.
I met Braden when he was recovering from being shot. I think he came into shooters one time. But anyway, it was before I was a cop. And I'm not going to get up here and roast him. I'm not going to mention anything about like ripping a prosthetic arm off. I'm not going to mention anything about like him stepping out of the way of the door and say, you kick it some, after Major Young couldn't get the pin out of a flashbang. Because I don't want to mess with all that. But I do want to tell a story about Chief Braden. The probably single best event in my law enforcement career. We had a barricaded subject, was armed with shotguns, Vietnam vet, tough dude. He ate more tear gas than we did and came out of it better. But at one point during the night, I think we had about 20 SWAT guys there. About 6 of us were experienced, and the other 14 were still trying to figure out which pads were their knee pads and which were their elbows. So we had to do everything all night. At one point, Braden comes up to us, he was a sergeant, and he was like, hey, and he'll tell this story different than me, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way, it's a good way. He came up and he said, I need 3 volunteers to go with me to do a covert entry in this house. Now, most SWAT guys these days don't even know what a covert entry is. It's a lost art. They know one way to do things, right? Chief Braden's version of events is he came up and asked for 4 volunteers. And then he had to come back and say to go with me. And the type of guy he is, I don't think he even realizes. I never heard that. All I ever heard was follow me. So we did it. It was me, Brian Tompkins, and James Arrington. I based up on the wall. Braden climbed up me. Brian Tompkins came up to me. He climbed up me and went in the window. And then Arrington walked up ready to go. And that was when Arrington was full-blown, red-headed human version of Grape Ape, the cartoon. And I saw that big joker getting ready to crawl at me. I said, hold on a minute. Base up and let me go in. So we went inside. And he's like, how am I getting in? I was like, just stay out there. And Braden's like, where's the 4th one? I was like, he didn't make it because he was not climbing up me that day. We did the entry and all that, ended up resolving the situation later, and it all worked out great. But it was one of the coolest things to me. I mean, we hit numerous houses. We did numerous dangerous things. But we did something that, how many guys have even done that now on a live one, right? So always a big memory. The other thing I remember is, I think it was 2011, I got assigned in the training division. And it might have been David Sportsman or Captain Chapman or somebody pointed out Chief Braden's academy picture on the wall. Now, as soon as I saw it, he looks like the lead singer from DeBarge, and I could feel the heat of the rhythm of the night as soon as I saw his picture. So if you haven't been to the training center to see his academy picture, I don't work there, not associated with Fayetteville Police Department, I have no authority to say this, but you should go do it. I'm sure they'll welcome you in and take a look at his academy picture. Now, seriously, I've told Chief Braden before, he is one of the only guys I've seen excel under every type of leadership because he's smart enough not to compromise his ethics, yet work within his moral code to make change. Love you, brother.
Is there anybody else? Are we keeping all the secrets for later? Kind of figured that way. All right, Alpha. Get out the tissue.
I debated on whether to come up here all day today. So me and Chief Braden, we go, when I say back, we go way, way back. When I say way back, I mean teenagers, like 14, 15, back in the 90s. But when I started the police department, and this is, I saw Chief Braden, and I was like, I know him, where do I know him from? And some of y'all may have heard this story. And I was like, but it didn't click. So back in the day, when high school students could drive the school buses for us, that's where I thought I knew him from. I was like, was he my bus driver? I couldn't remember. So one day I finally, and he looked at me with his stank face. Yes, I said stank face. He was like, looking at me like, and I'm like, I can't recognize him. So one day I built up the courage. And I walked up to him and I was like, did you drive my school bus? And he had that look on his, he's like, really? And I was like, okay, maybe not. And I walked away and I was like, it's still not clicking. And then finally I remembered, oh my gosh, we went to school together in St. Paul's or Parkton. We lived in Parkton at the time. But that's how I know Chief Braden. As far as being on the department, he was my sergeant when I was on patrol. And I was trying to do a vehicle pursuit because the guy was speeding and it was dark outside, it was raining and all that, the weather was bad. And I remember him getting on the radio and he kept asking me certain questions and I couldn't spit it out fast enough. I couldn't, my mind was just like, So I think we called it off. I can't remember, but all I remember was after the fact that he came out to where I was at. He said, hey, meet with me, and he met with me, but he used that as a teaching moment. He didn't scold me. He didn't make me feel less than, because you already feel jacked up when you mess up on the radio and everybody can hear it. You're like, He actually came out and he gave me pointers. He was like, calm down, breathe, and just, you talked me through that process. thank you. And my last thing that I have to say to you is that God has a plan. He knows exactly what he's doing, and you were heaven sent. You were heaven sent from the moment that we needed you. And I thank you for being obedient and for answering that call. Me and you've had that talk. And the one thing that I loved, that I enjoy and I love and appreciate about you is that if you get to know Chief Braden outside, no one is perfect and none of us are, but his intentions and the motives of his heart, that is what God sees, what nobody else sees. We all see that, the jacked up outside stuff. We all hear the jacked up outside stuff. But God sees what the intentions and the motives of your heart. And the intentions and motives of your heart are pure and for the right thing. And thank you for your service and thank you for being obedient.
Chief Braden, our Citizens Police Advisory Board meetings will be much shorter now because we won't have you there taking up all of our time when we ask you questions. But we appreciate the accountability. But one thing of all the accolades and accomplishments you've heard mentioned about the chief, there's one important fact here in the city of Fayetteville I think we all should be aware of. Chief Braden had a vision, and that vision was to reduce overdose. And I'm gonna tell you, the first 2 stops we made, overdose in the city of Fayetteville were reduced dramatically. But what I learned from that experience is how to do a good B&E. Chief Braden took me to this tall building over in the Utah area, and we went floor to floor looking for addicts. But I tell you what, they're all gone now. On behalf of the faith-based community and Faith in Action, thank you, Chief Braden.
Going once, going twice. Da, da, da. Okay. At this time, the City of Fayetteville Marketing and Communications have a short video to show the audience.
Very early in my career, I adopted a motto for myself that Braden is going to be all right. And it sort of came into effect after my shooting. And what I meant by that, Braden is going to be all right, is if something happens, it's not going to be because I didn't train. If something happens, it's not going to be because I didn't know the policy or I didn't know the law. If something happens, it's not going to be for any of those reasons. Meaning that when it came down to it, I'm going to be ready, whether it was a shootout or whether it was a lawsuit. You know, and that motto of Braden's going to be all right is something I tried to really push down to the people who work for me. You're going to be okay because you've trained, you've prepared, you've learned everything necessary so that everything's going to be okay. Well, once you've done this job, once you run code traffic at 3 o'clock in the morning, go into a shootout, or go into a barricade, you know, everything else in life seems a little less important. I think that adrenaline that you get on this job, I think cops, we like a little bit of stress. We like a problem to solve. We like those moments of intensity around us. You know, there's a reason why we stick around for 30 years. And I think I'll miss it. I think that I'll enjoy not having it around as much. But again, in the back of my mind, true deep down, I'm going to miss it a little bit. You know, I spent 22 years on the SWAT team, and there's not a call out that I don't sit there and wish that I could go out there and throw my vest on and go out there and get in the stack and be part of that. I can't do that anymore. And there was a time when I had to move on from that. Even now as the chief of police, you know, when it's your time, it's your time. I say I ended up in the chief's office up here, not by design, but, you know, once I started promoting to the rank of lieutenant, it really defined, okay, yeah, are you here to make a difference, not just in the profession, not just in teaching other cops, but to make a difference in, you know, all the politics of policing, truly explaining our position, you know, and how things may appear one way or another, you know, truly being a champion, not just for the community, but for the men and women of the Fayetteville Police Department. And I think that sort of defined to where I'm ended up today as the chief of police sitting in the corner office. You got to be a champion for the cops who you work with on the department, but you also have to be a champion for the community. Right now, I think we're in a good spot. You know, 2 years of lowest crime in the past decade. You know, officers are getting paid, morale is coming up. You know, we have some young officers that the culture of policing is truly changing around the young officers that we have on this department. What better time to pass the torch and let the next administration, the next leadership step up and carry the ball the rest of the way. For the new chief, I would say, as a profession, we got to get good at the things that we're mandated to do, to enforce the law, okay, and investigate crime. You have a young department, if you nurture them and allow them to become the professionals that I know they can be and they know they can be, I think that there's great things ahead for the Fayetteville Police Department and the next administration.
Now present Police Chief Kemberly Braden.
So after being a cop for 29 years, we all remember stories just a little bit differently. But I think the basis of the stories were pretty much true on everything that you heard tonight. And it's funny, as I look around the room, I see so many familiar faces, and I can remember a certain incident or a certain story about just about each and every person inside this room. And that means a lot to see you here tonight. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. As my time as the Chief of Police nears its end, I want to take this time to express how incredibly rewarding and deeply meaningful my 29 years of service have been to me. I started my career as a rookie Fayetteville cop. You notice I call us cops. In March of 1996. I was a 22-year-old kid who was just happy to have a job that paid $10 an hour. My immediate goals, get onto the SWAT team and eventually work my way up into working undercover. Young me never imagined becoming the chief of police or even the thought of retirement, but here I stand today. Young me certainly didn't foresee the incredible friendships, challenges, the triumphs, and the lessons that would come my way throughout my career. My time in service has provided me with some of the most memorable and fulfilling moments of my life. The Fayetteville Police Department has become my family and been there for me during good times, during tough times, and every moment in between. For 29 years, I have stood that thin blue line, facing danger and uncertainty with my brothers and sisters in blue. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege of working alongside so many outstanding men and women, sworn and non-sworn, and members of this community. All dedicated individuals who have given everything they have to this profession and to this city. I have shed blood, sweat, and tears on the streets of Fayetteville, and I still don't regret a single minute of my service. Being a Fayetteville police officer is one of my proudest accomplishments. For the past 2 years, I've had the privilege of leading the men and women of the Fayetteville Police Department as their chief. During my short tenure, I have learned a few things about leadership that I think are important to share, and they should be in the qualities you seek in your next chief. During times of adversity, it is a leader's job to protect those who stand behind you and respect those that stand next to you. As I gaze upon the crowd, I see individuals who have stood with me, some behind me, some beside me, and some in front of me when I needed them the most. You will never lead if nobody follows. Be confident, competent, and charismatic. If you can do those three things, people will follow. Leadership is determined by your ability to mentor, teach, challenge, and inspire. I've said it so many times in ComStats, we got to constantly raise the bar just a little bit. Just put it outside of the people who follow us reach, so they constantly challenge themselves every day. Leadership is about creating opportunities for those who follow, even when those opportunities never existed for you. Leadership is about creating a path forward for the organization, a path for future leaders to follow and ensure the success of the organization. A leader passes the torch to the next generation when it burns its brightest. Never wait until the flame is dim and about to extinguish. My 2 years leading the Fayetteville Police Department have been the most challenging and yet rewarding years of my career. excuse me, water. To the men and women of the Fayetteville Police Department, as I look back, I hope to be remembered as a great cop who led the Fayetteville Police Department ethically and with integrity. I hope years from now, my definitions of ethics and integrity still echo in the halls of the Police Training Center. I have tried to lead from a position of personal accountability and challenge myself to constantly grow, both personally and professionally. I hope to have inspired each of you to do the same. Looking forward, I hope that I have prepared this great department to face new challenges, create new opportunities, and experience even greater success in the future. While I don't know who will be the next chief, I know that the men and women of the Fayetteville Police Department will continue to serve with faith, pride, and dedication. To the Fayetteville community, looking back, the things I'm most grateful for are the relationships created within our community during my time as chief. I think it's pretty evident I had the tactical side of stuff down. I spent over 22 years in operations. I knew the challenge I was going to face if I was to become the chief of police for the city of Fayetteville. With great purpose, I went out and tried to make those connections. And as you look around the room, there's a lot of people who aren't cops sitting in here tonight, and I appreciate each and every one of you. The connection between our department and the people we serve is the foundation of everything that we do. I have tried to create partnerships in our community that will last well beyond my time as the chief. I've tried to turn adversaries into allies by finding common ground and seeking common goals. I hope that I've inspired a relationships of trust within our community by keeping you informed of situations of public interest. I am proud of how far we have come as a community in the past 2 years. Looking forward, I hope even more individuals and organizations get involved and seek to act on issues of mental health, poverty, and addiction. Mario paid me to say that. Without doubt, these are the root causes of crime and disorder within our community. And finally, to my family. This is a happy day, I promise you, I'm not going to cry. My years of dedicated service have not come without sacrifice on behalf of my family. There have been countless times I couldn't be the best husband, the best father, or grandfather because I had to be my professional best for others in need. To my wife, Beth, my daughter, Lexi, my son, CJ, his wife, Jackie, and my 2 grandchildren, Amelia and Cornelius, I am thankful for and probably undeserving of the grace you have given me for every late night, every early morning, every holiday missed, every birthday party missed, every school event that was missed, every sporting event that was missed. Cross-country track, they take off. You see them take off and you see them come back. And even the most simple life moments that I missed throughout my career. I can't change history, but I can strive to be better in the future. I love you all. To everyone in attendance tonight, thank you for all your support. The success of the Fayetteville Police Department would not be possible without you. Thank you for filling this room and sharing this moment with me. I appreciate each of you more than I can express in words. Now, to close it out, if I can get my wife, Beth, to step up to the stage. I would like to close with a final gift to my wife, who has been my greatest supporter. Days before our wedding, I warned her, it's tough being a Braden. She agreed to marry me anyway. She entertains my crazy ideas and rarely tells me no. She has rearranged her life more than once to accommodate my goals and my ambitions. Hopefully it gets easier to be a Braden once I retire. I love you and thank you for your support. I raised her that way, or her dad did. Where'd Tabitha go? Come on, front and center. So as you look around this room, well, number one, I didn't think I could fill the room, and Tabitha's like, no, you need the space, you need the space. She's the one that took the time to make the centerpieces that are on everyone's desk or table. She's the one that organized all this. And again, I'm not as bougie as she says. I told her, just like I tell my wife, I don't care. Just let's choose it. Let's go. But it's so much more than just what she's done here for me the past week and to set up for today. You know, over the past 2 years, she's the one that ensures that my calendar is kept up to date. She calls me when I'm running late. She scans my emails and say, did you see the email from the mayor? She's the one that keeps me in order during that time that I'm away from home. A lot of times Beth will ask me, well, what are you doing Saturday? I said, I don't know. Tabitha ain't updated my calendar yet. So. But no, for all she's done for me in the past 2 years, I have a small token of my appreciation for her. So she does have the sneakiest office on the floor because everyone else already has since thanks to Sandra. So I think she deserved one as well. And then, you know, for Appreciation Day about a year ago, I got her one of these little boards, and it says, today I'm coordinating the chaos, or it flips. But I thought she deserved an updated door sign for her office. And if you take a look, I wanted it to say in very small letters, to the. I wanted it to say Assistant Chief Tabitha Sportsman, where you had to walk up on it to see the to the. I'll do those a little later. Again, before I come off the stage, hopefully, and behind the microphone for the final time as a police officer, you know, my name's Kim Braden, and I'm a recovering cop.